Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, it's Christmas time, and you'd think time off, right? Nope. Never a day goes by without at least 5 projects popping up. All this Christmas trees to put up, and wreaths to hang, and lights to make work. Lots of lights. Some of you may remember seeing me build this sawtill. And I made it to hold handsaws because I seem to have an awful lot of handsaws. And I was really into hand sharpening handsaws there for a while. I now have some equipment in shop to mechanically sharpen handsaws. I've got a Foley bell saw file sharpener over there, and I've got retoother in the basement. I actually have 2 retoothers in the basement, and the racks to go with them. It took a while to collect all this stuff, but the 2 racks came because one had a few of the ratcheting racks, and the other one had the rest of them. So I bought 2 retoothers. You really need them for retoothers because that's what sets where the teeth go on the saw blade. And the filer, people think that you just throw them in the filer and it sharpens them. Now, you got to have a retoother because the filer doesn't know where the heck the darn teeth are. It uses the teeth themselves to file the saw. So if the teeth are staggered, or cows and calves, you're going to end up with a saw that's so butchered, if you put it in a refiler, it's just going to be a mess. So you got to have a retoother. But like I said, I've got 2. I don't know why I got 2. I probably should have sold 1, but when you got 2, you're thinking, well, this one may break, and there's not a whole lot of them to be had. So that's what I did. I did get a bunch of, I got a bunch of the retoother racks, and some of them were for the old hand retoothers, and I said, well, maybe I can modify them and make them work, but it sure seemed like an awful lot of trouble. And I looked around and found somebody that had a hand retoother and didn't have any racks, so off they went. You got to share the wealth when you get it. The retoothers didn't cost very much because nobody wants them. Hand saws are kind of out. I know there are people that say, oh, handsaws are wonderful. I'm one of them. But we're few and far between. Most people say, well, you know, I got this new buzz bang thing that runs on batteries, and it'll cut through almost anything, and it's got diamond tooth blades, and I can buy new saw blades for real cheap, and I don't need to buy new ones. And knock yourself out, bud. I know that if I want a handsaw, I know that if I want a handsaw, I've got a rack full of them in the basement. I got about 12 of them sharpened, and when I sharpen them, I'm happy with them when I'm done sharpening. Took a long time to learn how to do it, and a lot of practice, but once I got it going, it's pretty easy to keep it going. So in any case, I've got sharp saws in the basement, and I've got 30 waiting in the wings to be sharpened. I had this idea I was going to make a ton of money off of buying old saws, cleaning them up, sharpening them, and selling them. Guess where that went? Biden era thinking. Well, this saw holder, sawtill, was just fine, and I didn't need it for saws. I had it when I had a booth down at Burgess Antiques. I set up a booth down there so that I could try and sell some. I probably could have tried harder and done a better job of selling. I set up a display down there at an open house and sharpened saws upstairs. There's a video on that. A lot of people came to see how I did it. And he was tickled to death. He wanted to learn how to sharpen saws, and I was doing a demo and had people trying their hand at it. I had some saws there that I knew I could just throw away if they weren't any good. But you really got to butcher one pretty bad, and I was standing right there. So, anyways, I sold about 4 saws that day. Sold 5 saws. Had 2 people asked me to sharpen their saws for them. One guy had brought in a couple of saws and wanted to know if I could sharpen them. So I did. So it was a nice demo, and I thought, well, okay, maybe it'll work. That was a test run to see if I could get any interest in people buying saws. Well, that was the only saws that I sold when I was there. You pretty much got to be an on-site person to sell them, because you got to give people the idea how they work and show them what can be done. And that wasn't happening if I wasn't standing there. Walking through an antique shop, seeing old saws sitting there in a rack, even though they were all nicely sharpened and cleaned up, and looked good, they didn't sell. So I brought the rack home and closed the booth. I had the booth open for 3 months. Thought if I didn't sell anything in 3 months, we're going to call it quits. And I didn't. Like I said, I could have spent some time down there and done more with them, but I had a full-time job that I was working up in Lansing, and that meant a lot of driving back and forth. I didn't have a lot of time. I made it, and then I used it for the antique shop, my booth at an antique shop. Which I can't say I regret doing. It was nice to know, and settled my mind on a couple of things. One of which was I wasn't going to be a retail salesman anymore. Someday I'll tell you the story of the bookstore. So, last year, Lydia wanted to put up stockings. We had 2 grandchildren. Oliver was about 3, and Max was all of 1. That meant we had 6 stockings to hang on the chimney. And we didn't have any way to hang 6 stockings on the chimney. And I said, well, I've got a rack here that would work quite well for holding stockings. Wasn't my first choice for what to do with the tool rack, or the saw rack. Saw till. Wasn't my first choice what to do with the saw till. But she put stockings on that year. And Lydia loved it. So when you make something and people express an interest in it and tell you that it looks nice, it kind of puts you in a position where you don't mind having them say, "Can I use it?" She's known me 49 years now. Pretty much got all my buttons marked and tagged. There. Well, when I really got into trying to clean the workshop or the basement shop out, I said, okay, I'll bring this out, put it on the shelf. And it's doing okay, but it seems that you really don't want to have things out in the weather that you glued together. Yeah, I glued this all together. I didn't put any nails in it. So now, it's decided that when I went to pick it up and take it off the rack, the top rail came right off. So now, I'm going to put some screws in it to hold it together. Always something. Grade 2 screws. Came with some piece of hardware or piece of furniture or something. I usually don't bother with them because if it's something I want to put together well, I put it together with actual screws, not these number 2 butter screws. But it's 10 o'clock at night and I want to get this project done. So I'm going to go with this. And I'll just throw away a couple of them if they screw up. There we go. Now they're tight. Okay. So what this has become now is the Christmas stocking hanger. what can I say? At least it's getting used and it's not broken and thrown away. It's not an antique. It is made from antique wood. It's made from scrap wood from the old workshop. But it's served its purpose. And it's going to keep on doing that holding stockings, which is a lot easier job than holding saws. And I don't have to go down and look at a rack full of saws and say, well, another week went by and I didn't sell any. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.